What's up, everybody? It's VP here. This is Ginger Ale Flavor, my entertainment channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTuber stuff. You know what I'm talking about. If you like what you see, by all means, show the love. Today, I have a very special guest with me as I kind of kick off a new series or something, series of videos. Who knows? It's just kicking back and having fun. Where I talk about movies. Okay, and so I have my sister here, Ayana, my big sister. How are you doing?
What up?
Yeah, boy. Let's go.
Yeah, boy.
This is all the time. All right, so Ayana and I have been watching a lot of the same movies, things like that. And so, you know, we always have a good time talking about these movies. So we're bringing it to the camera. We're bringing it to y'all. All right, so first up, let's get into it. Malignant. Malignant, available on HBO Max. Came out a couple of weeks ago or something like that. And I think that I used to not be big on like horror films, thriller films, whatever the heck. And then all of a sudden, like 2 years ago, I became obsessed with watching like horror films, thrillers and stuff. And I think because growing up, we didn't really watch scary movies like that. I was, yeah, definitely. What'd you say?
Wasn't a fan to try to watch scary movies. Nah.
Yeah, not at all. Was definitely afraid of the dark, and even as an adult would love for somebody to watch me as I walk to the car. Right. And when I say someone, I don't mean a creepy person. I mean someone from the house. Okay. So yeah, well, all of a sudden I became completely obsessed with knowing the storylines of like horror films or whatever. So first off, I'm going to say the storyline. Okay. The storyline is pretty much this right here. So I'm going to try to see if I can like explain this in like 3 sentences. I can already tell you I'm going to fail right now. Pretty much about a woman who
got issues.
She got issues. Okay. So you see her in the beginning, she's with her man or whatever, and clearly she's trying to have children or something. She can't have children. Her boyfriend then, he mad. They allude to the fact that he got some drinking problem or something like that. And then he mollywops her, pushes her up against the wall and hits the back of her head, and to the point where she's like bleeding, which is crazy because that scene is so like, whoa, like it is intense, very intense.
That he need to die. You already knew that.
Oh my God. So absolutely. You're like, yeah, this guy sucks. He's the worst. So after that, begins a series after she's gotten her head like, knocked against the wall. She goes, lays down. That night, her husband gets killed by this weird force. Okay, we don't know what this weird looking force. It looks like a demon, a ghost. We don't know, but it done tore him a new behind. Okay, it's done tore him a new behind. He looking bad. Okay, he looking bad. All right.
He ain't had no neck.
He ain't had no damn neck. He was gone.
He was like this.
He was gone. He was gone. So, my quick summary is that from there's a bunch of different like people who end up dying. And this woman, after a while, the police are like, I don't know, it might be you, dog. And come to find out, it ain't her, but it's her. Because plot twist, she has a twin strapped to her back that she ain't know about or she forgot about. What is it called? Ayana, tetra.
They called it in the movie a twin parasite.
A twin parasite, and he looked bad, y'all. He looked bad.
Awful.
So he pretty much been putting her into like this psychic trance and then going and killing people, and she can see him killing people and stuff, but she doesn't find out that that's her brother until like later on. All right. So with that being said, that's the major plot twist of this whole thing. You think that it's something else and it's not. Like, Ayana, you speak to the storyline because I know that a big thing that drew you was like the imaginary friend. Like, talk about that kind of part, like how you felt about it.
So when they first, when I initially saw the preview of it, you see the preview where they, or the scene where they're doing a birthday or whatever, and she's speaking to the air, and then so you're assuming that she's talking to an imaginary friend. So, we were raised on imaginary friends are not acceptable. Right. You got to be talking. It ain't right. It just ain't right. And And so that's what drew me to it, because I wanted to see their take on the imaginary friend thing,
Right.
because and then there's other people in the world that you hear say, well, it's okay for a child to have imaginary
Right.
friends. And then on our side, we were taught, no, that it's not okay. So seeing this, I was like, yeah, I got to watch this movie. And then when you find out that it ain't an imaginary friend, really,
Right.
you're like, whoa, that's pretty deep, because
Right.
just different turn. And I'm not going, like you just said, it ended up where I thought it was going to be scary, but I ended up sitting up laughing at the movie because I was like, yo, wait a minute.
And that's the part that made me think, okay, it's going to be like a demon or something. Like, she got some demon following her around and nobody believe her or whatever the heck.
Or another dead person. They always show it some dead person.
Right.
Or I was waiting for them to reveal that she played with some Ouija board and
exactly
invited the spirit that shouldn't be back here.
Right. Because she got a part in there where she was like, the first 8 years of my life, I don't remember. I was like, classic. Like, it's always, classic. How come you don't remember? But see, the very beginning of the movie opens up with this hospital scene, right? And so you see this hospital scene, and whatever is like tearing these people up has superhuman strength, and when by the time they show like a glimpse, and they show that it's a child, and in the beginning it looked like a little girl to me, and then when they put the person into the chair, they strap him to the chair, and then they say, Gabriel, you've been a bad boy. And I'm like, okay, it's a guy. And then it was like this kind of creepy looking thing that you kind of see but you don't see, and it's all,
because all you saw was the hair. And then the part that got me was when they showed the socks. They showed its feet.
Right.
So I was like, well, this is just some regular person.
Right.
And I mean, actually it was.
Right.
But it was the other thing.
Yeah,
so
they did a good job. I feel like the director, whose name is James Wan or something like that, and I think they did a great job of making you feel like it was a demon. Because off rip, you're like, oh, this is supernatural or something. Like, that's what this is. Like, okay, we'll be now, because now at this point, you feel like you already know what the movie's about. So you're like, okay, well, just give me the story. Like, what's the story? How this demon get attached.
You already know what's about to happen.
Yeah, so that was very smart. Because I was very surprised that they showed us, they revealed it to us so early on. Like the first 10 minutes, 5 minutes of the show, they revealed to us like this ugly looking thing. And I was like, dang, like already? Like we already popping off like that? But dang, they got our behinds, okay?
Yeah.
Boy.
They got me.
Whoa. Yeah. Because, and of course, police officers are involved because, like we said, old girl's boyfriend, Madison, her boyfriend, I don't know if they're married or not, but anyway, he gets killed. And so now the police are now involved. Of course, there's a detective or whatever.
I think I thought I heard her say husband. I could be wrong, but I thought I heard her say.
Because she had been with him for a while, trying to have babies.
They've been trying to have kids for a minute.
Right.
Which means he'd been knocking her around for a minute.
He definitely been putting them paws on her. And you could tell he had been doing a thing, because he was like, as soon as he hit her, oh, baby, I'm sorry. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
You got to get out of here, dude. You got to get out of here.
Because if you realize, too, when they brought her sister in and she's in the hospital with her,
the
detective comes in and he's like, I heard this is like her third one. And she's like, her third one? She said, yeah.
No.
Third miscarriage.
Right.
She's like, what? Because she didn't know that. So that's why I said I think that she was married to this man. She'd been with him for a minute. And she did mention, she was like, when I was pregnant, I didn't want to stay with him, but I finally had gotten pregnant.
Right.
And, this is what I always wanted. So.
Right. No, that's a very good point too, because she did say how the husband like left her, like was like keeping her from the family.
Yes.
So these are all signs of abuse, as we know. Like that's So then as the story kind of continues on, you start finding out that, like, because Madison can't remember anything from 8 years, but the police officer, so another person gets killed, a doctor that you see from the very beginning, ends up getting killed. And then they find all the doctor's old like medical records, and then they find a picture of this little girl. And then
He said,
Um,
"We're gonna cut out the cancer."
yeah, we're gonna cut out the cancer. Yeah. Whoa. Gabriel was not feeling that. Okay. Gabriel in the beginning transmitted his voice to a radio and said, "I will kill you all." What?
That's the other part I didn't get though, too, though, with the movie.
Tell
If
me.
if you find out when you find out later what he really is and
Right.
what was really going on, it's like, so wait a minute, why did he even use a radio?
Yeah. How is he able to? Right. And I think that what they're trying to play off of is like that's just how rare and like what, because they were studying him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're studying Gabriel, and he keeps on kind of elevating himself because remember when they showed the
Well, they
videos.
weren't studying him though. Remember,
You said they weren't.
they weren't just studying him. They was trying to get rid of him. Remember?
Well, towards the end, they started like towards the end of their
Yeah, because
stay.
they couldn't really get rid of him.
Right. But see what they were doing, because they were studying him because like they were trying to get him to, like they was trying to see if he could communicate and all that. Well, actually, were they studying him? Now I think about it,
I don't think
because
they were, because when you go back, there's a scene when they go back to it, and remember how her head keeps bleeding.
yeah.
So you like, why does it keep bleeding?
Right.
That's another. Ain't nobody go back and check her head out every
That's
time she was bleeding, because that was a lot of blood coming from her head. I'm like,
That's what I'm saying.
nobody
Also,
check it out.
also, don't forget what you about to say, because I gotta interject with this. How? Okay, so the parasitic twin, all right,
Yes.
lives on the back of her, right?
Yeah.
Like this is her head. This the thing's head is back here. Okay.
Yes.
The doctors try to cut it out because he's starting to get too aggressive and all that other kind of stuff. They try to cut him out, but couldn't completely get him out. So he's still kind of there. But then they sew up the head. So they sew up the back of her head. Now
They pushed the thing
back
in.
Yeah, back in.
That's what I was actually about to say. They pushed it back in because they couldn't cut it. They were like, if they cut
We'll
this
suppress
part,
it. Right.
it would, but it was going to kill her.
Right.
It's going to actually kill
Both of them.
Addison. No, they wanted to get rid of the other one.
Yeah, but it would have killed both of them, I'm saying.
Right. And so, but they couldn't. And that's how come they ended up trying to just press it back in and close it up.
Which,
So
going to my point, nobody when she was younger combed her head or nothing. She ain't never, like, we ain't never discovered this at any point in time. Like,
and
what?
So what he said was, what the twin said was that, no. So what I think that they the thing had died.
Yeah.
It died. So they were able to, keep going on with her life. So she didn't remember that stuff.
Right.
That's why I know what was going on.
Right.
So apparently she remembered that stuff or couldn't remember that. And that's why later on they tell you that it was feeding off of her children.
Yo, that was
or the
crazy.
And that's how come they weren't living, because it was feeding off of it. It's been trying to come back for the longest.
That was crazy. That part
because
was
it was
crazy.
bad. They tried to cut them up.
That part was crazy. Like that
And
was
that's really the gist of the movie. It was mad because they was trying to kill him and cut him out.
Right. And he was like, because when they said it's time to remove the cancer, they were calling him the cancer. So Gabriel got mad. It was like, and then they botched him up. You know what I'm saying? Like they made him look bad, dog. They made him look bad.
Yes, they did. Like,
he already was looking bad.
That thing was ugly. Okay, look, let's look. Now we got to really cut to this part right here, just because I know when I called you and when I said, Vaughn, did you watch the movie yet? And you was like, no, I ain't watched it yet. All I could think about was why, because this is the part that made me laugh. This is the part that made me get up and say, oh, this is not going to be scary like I thought it was, because now I can unsee what I just saw. There's the scene where, okay, we already realized that it's showing her the kills. It's the murders it's committing, right? Yeah. So remember when he goes to kill the guy that was in the closet, and he comes out, the window's open, he closes the window, right. Then he gets to bed, and then she's in the bed. And I was like, I know dang well that's a creepy move right there. I would not want to wake up.
Yeah,
or even
right.
That I'm in bed with some some man, let alone a man I don't know.
Right,
Like,
right, right.
anyway, so when it shows the body on top of the man's body, I saw the leg. That's what got me. I first saw the leg and I said, yo, why the leg look like
Something
that?
wrong with that leg.
Why the leg
Right,
facing the other way? And how is it?
right.
And then I seen the shoulders and I said,
Something ain't
hold
right here.
up.
Right, 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 right,
And I
right.
said, is this a bad? Did they do this on purpose? And obviously they did, but it was like, I couldn't take it serious anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this body look crazy right
And then a
now.
little trench coat. Like,
Yeah.
where
And
did
I
he get the
said,
trench coat from?
that's what come. I said, and after that, I kept watching just to see that part,
Yeah.
just to see the body. And then when they showed it moving as fast as it was supposed to be moving,
Right, right.
I
We
said,
gonna get into that too.
how is this happening?
Right, exactly. Now, yeah, okay. So we could get. Let's start touching on the things that weren't so great about the movie, and I'm gonna tell you. One is this: when the detective, when the detective gets the medical records and stuff,
Yeah.
and miraculously the picture of we find out later on is a picture of Madison, also
Mm-hmm.
Emily, right? Originally,
Mm-hmm.
aka
Yeah.
Emily, FKA
Mm-hmm.
Emily. We get the
Yeah.
picture of her.
Yeah.
The detective drops it, takes it to his job and is like, "Hey, age this up for me."
To
How
30
in
plus
the
years.
hell? How in the hell? The picture, the girl is standing there. The bangs come all the way down here. All you see is this right here. And he talks some age this up for me. And then later on, when he's like, the dude who aged it up, who give that man a raise, because wow,
Tell me about it.
he's talented beyond means. Okay, because when you look back, this literally looked like a headshot of the actress playing Madison. Like what? How? When I saw that, I said, "Come on, bro. There ain't no way. There's no way. Ain't no way in this world. This man talking. So they took this picture. Bangs come down to here. You can't even see the person's eyes. Look like talking some age this up for me. And then and the man said, yeah, you I see you brought the perpetrator in. That's why you brought her in, right? He was like, no,
No, he
what you
said,
talking about?
I saw the picture that he
Yeah,
did. And he went,
right, right.
no. He said, well, I thought you did because you brought her in. He went, what? And that's when he saw the picture.
How in the
Yeah.
world, dog?
But
That was too much. Okay, that was too much.
I
Here's
thought the same thing when he said 30 years. I went, 30 years? Do they do that? Are they doing that for real? In real life?
I mean,
30 years?
I think they
Maybe
are,
they got
but
technology. I don't know.
through the bangs and all,
Everything.
God,
He
dog,
was on.
that man was on point, and he didn't even do the full body. He was able to zoom in the face.
No, let's talk about the other detective who was quite annoying to me.
She was an annoying character.
Who just, when he said, when it's just the way he was talking or the way she was talking. And then she was like, when she's telling, when Madison's telling her what's going on and she talking about, so, the murderer is your, imaginary friend.
Right. She can't believe nothing. She's the
what,
strong black woman that's
what,
not taking any crap. Like,
yeah. And what irritated me with her was the fact that up until that point, her partner had already experienced who we thought was somebody else.
Right. Right.
A
Come on, get into it.
hand touch of everything,
Right.
gunshot, all
Right.
this stuff.
Right.
And he just sitting there like,
He wasn't
I'm
saying
like,
nothing. He wasn't
so you're
speaking
not
up
going
or
to defend the
nothing.
girl?
He wasn't speaking up or nothing. I was like, I hate that in movies, and that happens too many times to count. Where it's like the person who witnessed it just be sitting there like, it's like, bro, you just saw, like in other movies, it's like you just saw the ghost. We saw you see the ghost, and now the police asking you over there talking about something. Like, and this time, finally, the main character, Madison, is like, You saw him. You saw and it's like, yeah, I'm glad she finally said that because he was about to sit there and then he still didn't acknowledge it. When she told him, he was just like, I mean,
That
did I see
irritated.
it?
The first time I watched this movie, that really irritated me because I was like,
Yeah,
yo, you could have easily solved this by saying, yeah, she not lying. I don't know
right,
if it's, he could have even said, I don't know if it's her imaginary friend, but I done seen it. I've experienced it.
right.
He is nothing.
And here's my thing. So I'm gonna go back to to his partner, the one. Okay,
Yeah.
because
The
this is what irritates me. Okay, and this I'm gonna make this a very small rant about diversity in films. But let's be real here, okay?
mm-hmm.
Just because you have this one black character, all right, okay,
Mm-hmm.
there could have been more black people in the show, but there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. Okay, there wasn't. And then the one black character that got a ton of lines got to be portrayed
But
like she just like she been hardened by life and all this other kind of stuff, and it's like, man, and then it
she
just
take
felt like she was doing too much, man. Elements about her were believable, but it just felt aggravating. Like it was like, all right, we get it. Like, all right, you guys, like this is. It just felt like
she
diversity.
don't believe.
It's like,
I bet you she believed when she got slashed though,
come on now,
and,
when oh my
and hit
god,
upside the head with that chair.
oh my god, another part about the movie that was not that great, and that you could tell there are elements they was trying to make it a comedy, which I'm here for the comic
Yep.
relief. But
Oh
there was
yeah.
one part, y'all, and that's going to lead into my next issue with the movie. It was like a fight scene, big fight scene, right? And by this time, it's been revealed that like Gabriel been taking over Madison. Well, they in a fight scene, and Gabriel, the two detectives, they wounded, they trying to leave out. And Gabriel throws a chair,
Yep.
WWE style,
Yep.
across the room and
Yeah.
directly hits them in their back.
Yeah.
Kaya, like it was crazy. It was crazy, and
Hey,
I busted out laughing. I was like, "Yo, there's no way that was meant to be scary because that was hilarious."
I'm
Which
just really impressed at how fast the speed of
this, thank you.
this thing
That
with
goes
the way
into my next.
legs were going.
That
The
goes into
feet.
my next. I would need to know how did Gabriel learn kung fu or whatever kind of type of fighting style? Bro was climbing on walls. Bro
Yes.
had super strength.
Here's the thing.
Like,
They usually say we know that they say that spirits have strength. Okay.
all right.
But I think what got us is more so the fact that we know that they're supposed to have this strength, but at the same time, they don't show you the whole time how this thing comes out. They don't show you to the end.
Right.
And at the end, though, all they show is the arms breaking and turning.
Right.
The legs don't break to turn. The feet don't. The ankles don't break to turn. So it's like, yo, I'm still trying to understand how you learn how to get your heels to go first. I mean, because that's some speed. That's some real good practice of what's it called? Backwards walking. I
And
mean,
let's be real. He wasn't more aerodynamic.
I mean,
Like, what in the world? Like, that was crazy. Bro was on one. And then, man. How in
hey,
the
look,
world?
I rebuke you, Gabriel. Don't try to come over here in my
Well,
house.
and here's the thing: Gabriel wasn't even a
Same.
spirit. He was part of the woman's body. Like he was a living, breathing thing. So it's like, what in the world? Then here's another bad thing about the movie, y'all. There's this scene where this is the climax. It's all starting to build up. Like things are starting to get like, oh my god, the big climax. Like we're about to find out things, and they've got Madison in a jail cell. Okay, in a holding cell with other alleged criminals. Okay. She's sitting there and she tired. She mother trucking tired. She tired.
She wore out right now.
She wore out. And she's sitting there looking like a little weirdo, all right? And everybody else start, picking on her or whatever the heck. So as they start, once again, she getting mollywopped. Once they start going in on her, then it's like, Okay, Gabriel comes out. Now that's when they're showing us the transformation, all this other kind of stuff.
Yep, the actual
All right.
transformation.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue. Okay, I ain't never been to jail. Okay, I never been to a I ain't never been. But see, Gabriel proceeds to kill all these people, and not a nan guard shows up.
Not one man.
Not a nan officer shows up to say, "Hey, what's all the commotion?" Sounds like you guys are having quite the ruckus.
Got one of them out there yelling, "Help! Help! Somebody help! Help!" The ringleader of the drama, who started it all anyway.
And what was she doing, Iyanla? What was she doing during that fight?
she was throwing everybody else in front of her so she wouldn't get hurt, and had her head between the bars. Help! Somebody help! And then when they showed it, it's dark. They show a red light, and they show one little red dim light, and she yelling out. I just knew. I said, "So ain't nobody around."
Nobody was around.
I just knew that Gabriel was going to take her face and her head,
right,
and smush it through the bars. But he still did some ratchet stuff to her. But I mean,
the police station. We find out the police station full of police officers. No one heard this commotion going on. That ain't make no sense. That ain't make no sense.
Hold on a minute. How did she get out the jail?
I forgot. I'm be honest, because I was just about to ask you that.
I don't remember how
she got out of the actual cell. I forgot. We're gonna have to go back and maybe I'll put that in the video later. So another, then we'll wrap it up. I got a few more plot twists. Oh, we got to talk about this major plot twist. Okay, so the very first person that gets assaulted by Gabriel is this rando woman. You have no idea who she is. Like, he just scoops her up.
You mean other than the husband? Yeah,
right. Other than the husband, and you're sitting there, and I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, I kept thinking, I was like, was that Madison? Like, I was like, what? I was like, yeah, man, I'm
her too. Like, I thought maybe time had passed by, and
I was confused.
Yeah.
She gets scooped up, and then all of a sudden she's in the she's like in this area, this weird kind of like area. She's strapped up and she's captive. And then we see Gabriel, who we don't know at the time is Gabriel, but we see it Gabriel, and he's transmitting his voice again to radios. He needs those old timey radios. There was no modern radios, no MP3 players or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've waited so long for this. And I'm like, who is this person? Y'all, it was their biological mother. What? Yeah. That was an excellent plot twist. I felt like that was an excellent plot twist.
Yeah.
That, that was the mother.
The thing was, I think the mother was young. I don't remember
like 15
exactly.
15 years old or something like that.
Yeah. Had them, and her mom, what she had gotten pregnant by, I don't know if it was her dad.
She had gotten raped.
It was a relative, and I guess I'm assuming they were Christians, the way that they put it, because she said it was a sin to have the child she was about to have.
Right.
So they were there to get rid of it, but she wanted to have the child,
right,
and just give the baby to somebody else. So she didn't even know this was how the child was going to be born.
Right. But she said in that interview, she was like, please help Emily, which is Madison's original name. And then she just said, he's evil. Like, she had already identified Gabriel as evil. So Gabriel is like the king of grudges. He didn't held these grudges. Like, like I remember what you said.
He is angry.
I remember what you said. You gonna die. Everybody gonna die. So that was a cool plot twist. I like that.
Everybody
gonna die tonight. So another thing I didn't like about the movie, this is another corny part of the movie. All right. Gabriel comes in and he about to like, I'm fast forwarding here. This is after like he done busted out the jail cell, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's on his way to the hospital because, oh no, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry, viewers. Please let me go back to the mother that's strapped up against some wall.
Yeah.
Because this was another part of the plot twist.
Right. Yep.
So come to find out, like they've got, this is before all the stuff I was talking about with the jail cell and stuff like that, right? because Madison hasn't even been arrested yet. And they're in her house, and the detectives, they told her, let's do this, hypnosis thing, and bring back your memories. So they do it. It's successful. Madison starts freaking out. She's freaking out or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, like, where do we go from here? They're about to leave the house. And as soon as they leave the house, somebody drops from the ceiling to the floor. Come to find out, the woman that's been strapped up has been in the attic the whole time. Yep. So now, and when she fell, yep, you see her breaking free, right? You see her breaking free. Then you see her get down there, and all of a sudden she takes a step, and the ground, it's shot really well, I feel like. The ground, not caves in, but just lets go from underneath her, and she falls like 3 stories, it felt like, into the living room. And at that point, they looking at Madison like, nah, you gotta go to jail. Like, you gotta go to jail at this point.
And Madison screaming, but you like,
Madison, now we doubting you. Because at this Madison, point, we still don't know. We're still unaware.
Then Gabriel come back talking about he want his stuff back because the girl don't fell out of the
trench coat and all that. Oh my God. Here's another thing I can't stand about the movie. I'm trying to wrap this up, but there's just some things that I just did not like.
You're good.
Gabriel's weapon of choice is an old,
it's a medical
trophy. What would you call it? An award. Yeah. Who the hell is making awards like that? Who the hell is making awards with sharp, pointy objects? Yeah, I know that he's sharpening it up some more, but
it's like the medical sign with the sword or whatever it is in there, and he breaks the base off of it and then takes the other part and then sharpens it some more.
What kind of award is this? Like, what in the world?
The way he's stabbing people.
Yeah, he getting them. Like, I'm like, who?
With backwards arms.
I'm going to tell you what right now. Somebody handed me an award like that. I'm like, bro, just give me a picture. I'll put it in a frame. I don't want this in my house for somebody to have a grudge and come back later on and use it on me. Like, I'm not doing
funny?
it.
You know what's funny? Side note, I was watching Wives Swap, the old one, and one of the episodes, the wife that swapped to a new family, she goes to the house and they got a bunch of swords. And she said, swords? Oh no, we're gonna hide these until I'm done with this visit. Cause
what in the world? What in the world? Here's your award that could potentially kill you.
Yeah.
What kind of award this is? What is this? So that was wild as well. I think we touched on the major things, but the point is how it ends is that, all right, so this is kind of, she got
her sister, I tell you that.
Yeah, I was glad that they had a good relationship, but I will tell you the other part I can't stand.
Yeah, you're getting to the end, and that's the other part I wanted to mention, how there was a part where he said, the sister says something about her saying, oh, this is my sister, da da da, or whatever she says, and then Gabriel comes out of nowhere with this animosity towards the other sister,
right?
Jealousy. That's my sister.
Like, sir, we can't tell that you like her. Like,
and it's funny because it's like it's funny because it's like, you be thinking that sometimes when other people come around your family, you be like, yo, that's not your sibling. What's up?
Your blood?
That's right. Who are you? Right. But yeah, I thought it was
that part was funny, and it was funny when he was like, yeah, you're completely right, because he's been trying to kill that girl since the beginning. Like, there's another flashback that y'all see where he trying to get Emily or Madison to kill the baby while the baby in the belly. And shout out to her parents who was hella patient with her, because if a child standing in the dark with a knife over my pregnant belly, like you might have to live with grandma for a little bit.
Gabriel had her envisioning the cake so that she would cut it, and he said cut a piece of cake, but he was like, cut me a piece of cake.
Right, exactly. Which, don't ask me like that.
But it was. But when they show the actual scene, she's supposedly over her mother's
pregnant belly.
Yeah,
she was trying to get a baby. Well, Gabriel was.
He was kill that baby.
One of my last parts that I hate from the movie was when It's the at the end. Gabriel has been like put into a mind prison because what has happened now is that Madison is like, hey, I done learned to do what you done did, and now she got him in the same mind prison he had her in. Okay. So this is the part I hate. The sister is in the is pinned down by like a medical table, and she's like suffering or whatever. And so Madison comes up to her and she's like, oh my God, I get this off of you. And then the sister's like, oh, it's heavy. Don't try it. And then Madison goes, this was always my body. And lifts the medical table up. It was like.
She said, this is always my body. Gabriel was strong enough to do stuff. I am too. And I said the same thing. I was like, nah, Gabriel's still there.
Yeah, I was like, nah, B, like that ain't the way. Like,
which in actuality, he is still there because she just put him in her brain. She put him somewhere locked away, and she did say, if you come back, I'm gonna be ready for you.
And he said, you can't keep me here forever. And that's when she said, well, I'll be ready for you. And so I guess they were trying to say that because she was learning to do all the things does she know the kung fu now? Does she know the?
Hold on. Here's the other thing. I was like, that's a pretty good message. You're telling people that they have to be able to control their anger issues and how to control these things that they think in their head.
Right.
But then at the end, I was like, but you still got to go to jail. Gabriel may have used your body, but you still the murderer. I'm sorry.
Right.
You still gotta go. You done killed how many people?
There's been so many people.
Your husband? I'm gonna let you slide on that one.
Because she was sleeping.
But the doctor,
right?
The doctor, and almost your mama. That's attempted. Almost no, he didn't try to kill her. He just had her.
He did. He would have. Right. He was talking about something, but first the doctor, and it was like,
yeah, you still gotta go to jail, Madison. I'm sorry.
And then the mama gonna apologize to Gabriel. Gabriel, I should have loved you. Oh, man, it's too late.
He only did that to calm him down, and he was. What I didn't like was the fact that he was just that gullible.
Yeah. You telling me you done did all this, you committed to all this, and you just wanted to hear I'm sorry? Boy,
this whole time. That's all you wanted to see. All he wanted to do was be a part of the family.
You could have just asked somebody to apologize to you.
So I feel like all we had to do was throw a sheet over him and he would have been fine living his life. You know?
Right. Yeah, he was really that part was not that wasn't the way. He was easily distracted by I'm sorry. Yeah. And here's another thing.
It that way.
Here's another thing, like how in the world is he breaking your shoulders every night and y'all ain't got no bruises? You ain't got no bruises.
That was the other thing, like you didn't notice bruises. The only scar you have
is the back of the head.
And pretty huge scar, mind you. We live in puddles of blood that's seeping into your pillows. And you touching your head like two, 3 times in the movie. She touches her head and goes, I'm like, you're not gonna run to the hospital and say, look, my head bleeding.
Or like no shampoo. Like
and I don't remember hitting my head. My head's bleeding.
Right.
And so, and don't forget the part, we didn't mention the part, I don't think we mentioned the part where the reason even Gabriel came back or was able to come back, apparently, was because she got hit, because her husband, didn't he throw her too? He threw
essentially.
Her. Supposedly that triggered this thing to be able to come back even more.
It was enough of a force on her head that like it brought him back like to the surface type deal or whatever the heck.
Yeah,
I think it was wild. So overall, you've heard our thoughts on Malignant. Ayana, if you had to give it a rating, let's do grades. Let's do like, A, B, C, D, F. What would you give it?
If it was supposed to be strictly horror, however you say that word.
Horror.
I'm gonna say an A minus. Or excuse me, no, wrong. I'm gonna say a D minus because I was.
Did you say a D minus?
I'll give it a D plus because in the beginning I thought I was gonna be scared. And until I seen them dang shoulders. And I'm telling y'all, whoever's watching this and you know what, forget this. I'm gonna see what they saying first and then go watch it. Trust me, when you see that, you're gonna be like, hold up.
There's also a part Ayana thinks is hilarious, and it's in the jail scene, and it's when you really start seeing the way that Gabriel walks.
Yes. And then look how, but then it's not the thing. How is it walking as slow as it's walking in the jail cell? Like, it's almost like it can move, but not really move. But when it's outside, I guess it needs a trench coat to be able to do all the fat. Trench coat. Because it was getting through them tunnels. It was getting through that wall. It was getting them walls. I mean, I'm just like, whoa, this is really, I don't know, man. Yeah. Compared to his other movies, compared to this dude's other movies, I'm like.
Right. Because this dude directed The Conjuring, the first one. You know, yes. that was some creepy stuff. Yeah. No, there was definitely some there was definitely some very questionable things. That move looked like a Janet Jackson like choreography for a second. Yeah. I busted out laughing. Like, yeah, it was so funny.
I feel like maybe the dude took a break for a minute, was like, I'm just gonna chill on this movie. I ain't gonna work this hard. I'm gonna work hard. That hard.
I'm gonna get my imagination off. I'm gonna give it because I did like the plot twist.
Well, I'm saying based on if it's supposed to be strictly horror.
Right.
But if it's somewhat horror and comedy, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Horror comedy.
It had me rolling. It had me scared, but then rolling at the same time.
I love the plot twist. The acting wasn't horrible. There were a lot of corny parts in there. I'm a corny person. I like corniness. Yep. I like that.
Yeah. Me too.
Just not when you're being a jerk, but I like that kind of stuff. I'm gonna give it a B. Because there were some things I just couldn't look over. Like there was just something that age up stuff was like,
yeah,
that's a reach. So
yeah.
But anyway, those are our grades on Malignant. If you've seen the movie, let us know how you feel. If you disagree with us, agree with us, whatever the heck, let us know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you so much, Ayana. I look forward to the next one that we get into. Rumor has it we might be getting into that Candyman series because trash. So that's my spoiler alert on that. Thank y'all so much. My name is VP. This is Ginger Ale Flavor. We out.